everybody. Welcome to another Staff Connections. I'm your host, Bill Culp. And again, you know the premise of this show. It is to get to know those who are working in your school district each and every day, and they're making a difference. Why does it matter? Not only because you matter, but guess what? They matter. And joining us today, somebody who matters, it's Alex Cifelli. How you doing there, Alex?
I'm good. Mr. Culp. How are you?
I am fantastic. Now, right before I'm gonna jump off the start here, right here off the bat. I'm gonna zing you here a little bit. All right. So I want you to name that tune because I know you're a musical person. All right. So here you go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Can you name that tune?
I cannot. Can you play a little more? Can you sing a little?
No, I stink. I'm hoping for some lessons from you.
I have no idea.
You're a good teacher because right off the bat you were very constructive. Like, no, I didn't really know that. Could you play that again? No, I'm terrible, Mr. Cifelli.
Oh, okay.
I'm terrible. So I could use some lessons. So I just wanted to see your reaction there. It's like,
oh, okay.
Which was
that was not very good.
That was not very good. That's all right. All right. So you are good. All right. So tell us what your job is specifically, where you're at.
Yeah. So I'm at the 7th grade, a general music teacher. That means every kid has music with me at some point when they get to 7th grade. We do a kind of a specials wheel here at the 7th grade center where every marking period they rotate their special. And so for 45 days, they get an intensive music course. And here in 7th grade, we introduce guitar. And we just started a new unit this year on world music and African drumming. So you're going to get, when you come to me as a 7th grader, hopefully starting next year, you'll get a little guitar and then a little drumming as well.
That's awesome. All right, good. I think everybody should learn to play a guitar. I look good strumming the guitar. I just can't play it too well.
Yeah.
I need that crash course. All right, so tell us a little bit about how many years have you been teaching here at Springford, and have you taught anywhere else?
So yeah, I started in 2013 here at Springford. So I've been here ever since. So we're working on, I think, year 8, year 9 here. Before Springford, I was in the school district of Philadelphia. I taught music in a middle school in Olney called Grover Washington Junior Middle School. So, you put it all together, and I'm about 12, 13 years into my career here.
That's awesome. All right. So, kind of going back here into Cifelli time, you got a background to be a teacher, right? So you have your mom, I believe, was a teacher.
That's correct. Yeah. Kindergarten teacher in the Cheltenham School District
for,
25 years. I don't know how she did it. Yeah. full day kindergarten.
You can sing. Full day. Well, it's a different ball game. You did. Once you said full, that adds a little bit. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. And then your dad was.
My father was a science teacher before becoming a principal, and then an assistant superintendent.
It's unbelievable. So you got in your blood, and your wife is also a teacher.
That's right. Yeah, music at Quakertown. So
can't get enough of it, can you? All right. You got 2 kids. Tell us about that.
Yes, my oldest, Elliot, will be 5 next month, and we'll actually be going to Evans Elementary School. We just finished the kindergarten registration. And my daughter, Karina's birthday was yesterday. She just turned 2.
That's unbelievable. So you got the youngins. That's pretty good. Keeping you awake, keeping you busy, I'm sure.
That's right. You know how it is.
I got you. All right. So now one of the things I thought was interesting, and I just want some clarification. One of the questions I asked is, what qualities do you need to be an effective teacher? Now, you probably showed us the one I'm going to ask you about a little bit, but you put empathy. What do you mean by that? I thought that was interesting.
Empathy goes hand in hand with patience as well. I find that, just as human beings, we're so quick to kind of make assumptions about somebody else based on, how they're acting or how they respond to something. And I found that, just really not making those assumptions, or just, being patient with somebody and having empathy for their position before rushing to a judgment, whether that's student behavior or the results on an assessment or something like that. Us teachers, we have to be truly, truly patient and empathetic in order to, kind of get a sense of the entire picture before moving forward with a judgment or a decision. I think that's really critical. And the teachers that I've had that I've admired, or the colleagues that I've worked with that displayed that, those are really, really winner kind of teachers who get their students, and their judgment calls, I find, have a lot of value.
Yeah. Hey, that's great. You showed me empathy in the beginning there, playing that guitar.
Well,
Yeah,
practice what
you
you
did.
preach, right, Billy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's right. That's right. All right. So now, free time, way I always say, teachers, especially, I teach elementary, and your kids probably are going to think this very soon in kindergarten, that your teachers sleep at school, but you do have life outside of school. So one of the things, I noticed, besides taking walks in the family, by the way, we're in the same neighborhood. All right.
That's
So
right.
yeah. And then, one of the things I saw was video games. You like your video games? Is that like gives you a little bit of a brain break? What
That's
do you
right.
what do you prefer? What system do you have? Game system?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I tend to rock on PC. We have a Nintendo Switch for the family. So my son and I are playing Luigi's Mansion 3 right now, trying to get through that. Um, you know, uh, I'll play the high school kids. We actually do this thing. I run Shades of Blue, the men's chorus at the high school, and the musical. And before COVID, we would all bring our systems and have little tournaments before practice. Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, that kind of stuff. So, uh, yeah, it's definitely a brain break.
That's
Uh,
clutch. Now you kind of led into my next thing then. So you run a little bit of the theater. Did you have a background in that, or is that just something you kind of delved into as you started teaching?
yeah, so I did been doing theater all my life.
Yeah.
I started playing pit orchestras. As soon as I was in middle school. I remember my first pit orchestra. Somebody asked me to play violin for West Side Story, which was a nightmare. I don't know if you know your theater, but that is a nasty, nasty part that was kind of shell shocked. So I've been doing community theaters ever since I was a little kid. In high school, um, I was in my productions.
Mhm.
That's actually how I met my wife. We played opposite each other senior year, and then bam, 8 years later we were married.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, I was really excited when there was an opening here to kind of pursue that, and it's been a really cool ride seeing that program grow, and it's really a highlight of my year is
Yeah.
directing the musicals here at the high school.
Yeah. The West Side Story is tough. Steven Spielberg coming out with the new
Yeah, I have high
pretty.
hopes. I have high
Yeah,
hopes. I
that's a
hope it's
tough one.
good.
That's a great movie. That's a great movie. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right. So now I notice one of the other things you like, you love the board games. Ooh, I love that. All right. So what do you like? What's your top
Oh
three?
my goodness. Oh my goodness. My wife and I are obsessed. We pretty geek out. We have a room dedicated just to playing board games in our house.
Nice.
Um, so what are we playing right now? Uh, it's kind of sick. Uh, Pandemic. Do you know that board game?
No, I don't know that one. All right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So we're into Pandemic Legacy. I just at the cast party of the play, we played a game called Catan. I wiped the floor with the high schoolers on that one. Settlers of
Nice.
Catan. You go classic. You can go Uno. You can go. Some old school chess. But I like the newer board games. Things
Like
like
the newer ones. All right. That's
yeah, yeah,
nice.
yeah. Uh-huh. For
Yeah,
sure. For
they're
sure.
too complex. I like the old games, very simple rules. You
Yeah, a
know,
little Candyland for you, Bill. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like magic, the magic cards and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you
Oh
go.
my, it's like my son, I was like, this is too much. This is too much. All right. Now, one of the things, I noticed, and you said, and I noticed, one of the unique things about you, and it's not to stereotype, but you got a musical background, and you just
Hmm.
said you did theater, but in your free time, you love to play soccer, and you were also your captain of your high school team.
That's right.
Usually those two don't, because that one usually takes up a lot more time. So tell us about that. Do you still play soccer, in a men's league or?
Yeah, yeah. So, I was super into music, so I knew I wanted to go into music, so I joined as many different groups as I could in high school. But the one exception was I would not do marching band, so that I could play soccer. I loved playing soccer. Would run track in the spring just to stay in shape for soccer. Um, and so that was the exception. I did not do any of the fall productions or anything like that, so that I could play soccer.
Gotcha.
I used to play in an adult league, but being a 5'5" adult, um, those adult leagues are vicious,
Well,
man.
I'm sure they're
I
probably worse
broke
than
my
high school.
collarbone. I broke my hand playing
Oh,
rec soccer in adult league, so I stay away from them.
board
Maybe
games are easier. Yeah, it might be easier to play on the Wii or the
that's
game.
right.
The
That's
game.
right. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe the over 35 leagues run a little less intense, so maybe I might start up again. But
I got you. I got you. Now,
in my 20s, it was cutthroat.
one of the other things I noticed was, it just stood out to me, and I have to ask you about it. But you know, food and meal. You love John's roast pork, right? All right. So in South Philly, you said it's the food of the gods. I like the way you said that, the food of the gods. Now, are you a cheesesteak guy, or is that one of
Absolutely,
your?
man.
All right. So
Philly born and bred. So, most people go that Nick's and Geno's, but they're totally off.
totally agree.
They're totally off, right? John's roast pork in South Philadelphia is the best place to get a sandwich
It
in
is
South.
really good.
You go cheesesteak or you go with the pork with the broccoli rabe. Man, that stuff, I will wait in line at 6 in the morning. I will take a personal day if
I'm
my
with
friends
you.
are in town to go
I'm
get
with
some
you.
John's roast pork. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So, and now TV shows, you mentioned you love The Wire, you like The Sopranos, so you like that drama. I binge watched The Sopranos. Now, what'd you think of the ending? What'd you think of the?
Yeah, so Tony gets it in the end. That's definitely what happens there. You get a little
Okay.
"Don't Stop Believing," and then it just cuts out like that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
All right.
Tony gets whacked.
That was a big debate. That was a big debate if he got it or so. All right. All right. So Jurassic Park, you like is your movies? You like the
Classic. I remember 1996. I was 10 years old, and we went to like a 10 p.m. viewing, and I just fell in love. And it holds up today, man. The special effects, the
Oh,
story. We talk about Spielberg, man. He knows how to frame his shots.
yeah, I agree.
Mm.
I specifically remember that too. And it was like the dinosaurs were like, I just remember that was one you had to see on one of the best movies I ever seen on the big
Yep.
screen. Yeah, it was
Yep.
fantastic. All
Uh-huh.
right. So now you love teaching and this and that, and you love your music. But one of the things I found interesting, if you didn't teach, you had your ultimate job,
Yeah.
city planner.
Dude, that sounds so interesting to me.
Really?
City planning?
Like
Absolutely.
Costanza.
Oh
You're
my
like
gosh.
Costanza, the city planner. Like,
It's like Legos, but real life. You know what I mean? Just kind
wow.
of figuring out, like, architect, okay, engineer. No, man. Figuring out where the pipe should go, where the power line should go. Like, to me, that's just because it's so bad in our area.
All right. See, that's good. So that's
I
hopefully
mean,
our city planner works for the district or watches, is a parent in the district and watches and says, you know what, Cifelli, he wants
there
to
we
be a
go.
player.
That's
Here we
right.
go.
That's
Give
right.
him,
That's
give
right.
him a call. Give him a call. All right. So in one
Yeah.
place you'd love to see is Venice.
Yeah, before it sinks.
Yeah.
I've been to Paris, I've been to Prague, I've been to the Mediterranean coast, but I never hit up Venice, and I think there's a clock on that one.
True. Well, what's funny is we got in your classroom, RCTV got in your classroom before you got to school. There's 4 tickets underneath your seat.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
I try. I tried.
Nice try. Nice try.
All
Nice
right.
try.
Now with Venice, planes, I'm surprised because one of the things you mentioned is you're afraid of heights. But I mean, who isn't afraid of heights? So you don't like the roller coasters?
I'll go on them. I'll go on them, but man, yeah, it's not so much a roller coaster because I know I'm safe in that. But you say you're on a glass elevator, right, in Vegas or something, and you're going up. Man, that thing just disorients me. Being at the top of the Empire State Building or the top of the Eiffel Tower, you just get that whoa
I can see
moment,
it.
and my heart starts pounding. I'm not into that.
All right. Well, speaking of a whoa moment, I don't know if you had this. Now, one of the things you mentioned unique, you shook the Pope's hand.
2009.
Now,
Yeah.
where was that? How was that like experience? Like, were you nervous? Did was it a good shake? Was it a high five? How was the Pope?
No, it was a good shake. It
Was
was
he
a
a
good
good
shake.
firm? Was he a
Yeah.
good firm? Boom.
It was a good firm handshake. So I got my undergrad at Catholic University in Washington D.C. And so a group of us were commissioned to form this chorus, and the Pope was visiting campus. All right, Pope Francis was visiting campus. So that I never seen more security in my life
Yeah.
than when the Pope came to campus. All the other students had to stay in their dorms, and we all got special badges that let us even leave our dorms. Cops everywhere. He brought his own security, and so he was giving a lecture in the hall, and we were providing the music. And afterwards, he came up and he, spoke to us and shook our hands. And then, it's cool. That same year, earlier in the year, in January, that same chorus was commissioned to sing at Barack Obama's first inauguration. So I got to be on the same stage as Obama and the Pope in a calendar year. That was a cool highlight year. Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't have one of Steve's sandwiches before and was all greasy when you shook his hand, did you?
Yeah, right. No.
I
was pretty clean cut.
If you were eating the sandwich and then shook his hand with the other hand, that would have been great.
That's right. Yeah, no, this isn't. Yeah, it was not a sitcom that night. It was pretty normal day. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So now my last question is this. I always end it with this. All right. So let's say whatever, 15, 20 years. All right. Mr. Cifelli says, it's time. I'm going to retire. What do you want your legacy to be? And what do you want people to remember, your former students, parents, faculty, anybody? What do you want them to remember about you?
I think the legacy should be that, music as a subject, right, should be part of everyone's life. I think the guiding philosophy in my classroom and in the activities that I help run or co-run is that, regardless of your talent level, regardless of your investment in it, because not all of us have time to, practice 4 hours a day or something like that, that music is this really innate form of human communication that everyone should have some kind of ability to translate. Because I just think you miss so much if you don't have those tools. Not just music, but all the subjects kind of we are part and parcel to when we're exposed to public education. So I think what I want people to remember is that all the subjects have value. Music is just one piece of a larger pie. That's kind of what I hope people get out of my career when all's said and done. That music's this really beautiful, wonderful thing, but at the end of the day, it's just another form of human communication. I think, like all the other subjects, history is, the people of the past communicating with us, and music is just another form of communication. That's kind of what the vibe is here. That's the plan here.
All right. At the end of the day, it's the end of the day for you, and that's the end of our interview. You did a fantastic job there, Mrs. Phil.
I appreciate the invitation, Mr. Cole.
No problem, Alex. I appreciate that. So, hey, everybody out there, if you're a Target, Walmart, looking at some board games, that's the guy to ask right there. Okay, he'll give you that suggestion. If you see him at the hospital with a broken leg or broken bone, ask him how his soccer game was. All right? If you see him at Steve's Sandwich, probably not going to buy you one. Maybe you might buy him a sandwich, but make sure you say hello. And, every time you listen to music, I mean, did you hear that? That was a promotion. That was a great promotion for music. You got to have that love for music. So that was awesome. So thanks again for joining us.
I appreciate it, Bill. Thanks.
You got it. All right. Until next time, that's another Staff Connections. I'm your host, Bill Colt. Have a great night.